Exhilarating Exile.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Ketramose, the New Dawn. Ketramose loves it when you exile from graveyards or battlefields during your turn, drawing you cards, losing you a little life, and eventually being able to attack and block once you have 7 or more cards from all players in Exile. That means that Ketramose is here to be played with things that exile, whether it is you exiling your own cards to blink them, or maybe cards that exile themselves and then return to the battlefield, like Restoration of Iganjo, or maybe just exiling your opponent's cards, like Darkstar Banisher. You have so many different ways to synergize with Ketramose, and this deck is a blink deck. I figured, why rely just on Ketramose when you can get value from almost all the cards in your deck entering the battlefield, exiling your opponent's spells, maybe even exiling their creatures, exiling their other permanents, and then exiling things from the graveyard so you can draw even more blink. This is one of 2 different Ketramose decks I built, the other one being an Orzhov Exile-based control, which, yeah, sure, exiling everything over and over is fun and draws you cards. But you know what's more fun? Entering the battlefield and getting tons of value. I think that this deck is a blast because not only are you getting more value off of having Ketramose, you very quickly will get a 4/4 with Menace, Lifelink, and Indestructible, who will sit there, body attack, swing in, gain you some of that life back because you are going to lose some life off that card draw, while you make use of some really cool synergy. One of my favorites actually being Teysa. You can also do this with Obzidot, which exiles itself at end step, which still draws you a card with Ketramose. And if your board is strong enough, your opponent is going to want to exile your creatures using Swords to Plowshares and the like on your cards. And since those are usually instant speed, you'll be drawing cards off your opponent's removal too. Ketramose is a house all around, so let's take him into the queue and start drawing cards and blinking creatures. Itali, Primal Conqueror, enters the battlefield and steals spells. And hopefully not a blinky spell, because if they blink it, they get to steal again. I guess I'll keep this. I don't have anything really to blink, but I like the turn 1 Stonebinder's Familiar. This is a card that cares about things going to exile, which, guess what? Ketramose cares about that too! Yay! I'm gonna frag the elf. And this only triggers once for each of my turns. So I want to keep a card in exile for my vacuum. So I can play Ketramose. You know what? I'm actually going to attack him first. Oh no! I sure hope that they don't block my 2/2 dog. Get him! Fragment their reality! It's like a weird combat trick. Dogs and cats working together, exiling things. Oh, also this is the Bite Steel Colossus on the backside. It becomes a 1-hit kill if you let it go unblocked. I guess I'll go for this Mox Amber. I will exile that to draw to decide which of these I want to play. Oh, the puppy! Okay, yes. I'm gonna name Black. I'm gonna swing in. Bog. Yeah, I'll take the Bog Champ. And I could actually ephemerate this just to draw another card. I'm not going to. Is Ketramose a cat? I think it's a lion. Hi, Nissa. You gonna animate? Cool. Ooh, and then immediately going into Scrap Gorger. Well, check this out. Dog. Woof. Woof. We got dogs. We got dogs. We got cats. We got dogs. And don't you say, oh, that's not a dog, Amy. Yes, it is. That's a dog. Both of you are going to swing at Nissa. I'm going to blink my Ravenous Chupacabra, which will trigger Ketramose. And also, I guess, the Stonebinder's Familiar. I'll be killing this forest, but I'll also be exiling the Nissa to draw another card. Ooh, bones! I don't really need to use that right now since it exiles at the start of combat. Chupacabra comes back. We hit the forest. Your lands removed. Your ramp exiled. Your ghosts sucked. Okay, yeah, a delighted halfling. I'm gonna ephemerate. I'm gonna blink. I'm gonna smack. I'm gonna wreck. GG, Atali. Soul of Windgrace. They are actually also going to be interacting with the graveyard, but not to exile, to steal. They'll be taking cards out of the graveyard and putting them into play under their control, but only lands. I have a Werefox, Bodyguard, Witch Enchanter, Bona, and Grief. I'm going to mulligan here because even though that hand had some kind of cool stuff in it, I want more cool stuff. In turn one, do I want to steal or do I want to hold this up as a way to exile those lands from the graveyard? I already know. I wish I were going first here because then I would have more interactions with like their commander coming down, since their commander will probably come down and be able to steal on the same turn I'd be playing Ketramose. It's like I might want to Grave Expectations just on that turn, which would mean not holding up anything. Hi, Nissa. You're scary. Yeah, rather than go for the value off Ketramose, I'm just going to exile Nissa, because landfall is good, and you should fear it. Soul of Windgrace. You target? You don't. Okay, so I have to just do this now. There are no lands in graveyards. Sorry, Soul of Windgrace. Do I want to draw here? Yes, I do. Okay, so I'm going to Ketramose, Pit of Offerings my own graveyard to draw a card. We're up to 4 of 7 from Ketramose. Now, Soul of Windgrace, if they have another fetch land, they can do that again. That's part of why I needed to hit this, because otherwise it goes right back to the graveyard, and they get another land, and it goes right back to the graveyard, and they get another land. So they're discarding a land to hit Soul of Windgrace's ability, drawing a card, so they can get it, and it's a mana confluence. Birds of Paradise. A small doggy. Bark, bark. We cloud shift on our turn for more card draw. Bark, bark, bark. But wait. How dare you? I'm gonna exile the one card from their graveyard so I can draw. I think Ketramose's head is a lion or a panther. I guess it would make more sense to be a lion since it's like Egypt themed. They swing in, there's no lands in the graveyard. I guess they don't have one in hand that they want to discard. They played this turn, though, right? Oh, maybe not. I think I'm just going to take advantage of the fact that I have an indestructible commander. Their commander can become indestructible. Normally, I'd like to use the collect evidence part of this, but I don't have enough evidence in my graveyard because I exiled it. Actually, I wouldn't have had enough anyway. All right, so no more Soul of Windgrace, no more bird. It's a Jaguar with a V12 engine. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Soul of Windgrace is a Jaguar. Or a Panther. Isn't one just the, like, melanistic version of the other? He's a cat. He's a cat. children. I know I've exiled the graveyard, so it's going to be a while before I can do any flippy-dippy business. But come on out here. Oh, you're right. He can't be a jaguar because he's the only god that's not starting your engines. No, wait. The frog god also doesn't start your engines. Oh, no. A fetch land. I can't play that. Because then they would be able to get it, maybe. I'm going to play Nightmare Shepherd. So if they want to kill something, I can bring it back as a token. Then throw down the Abyssal Harvester. And I'm going to say this right now. These two kind of non-bow with each other. So they're both demons. And they both care about making nightmare tokens. And one of them gets rid of all your other nightmare tokens. But that's fine. Okay, I did play a black card, so they can Veil of Summer here. But it looks like they're just lacking on lands. Us hitting those fetch lands with Exile, not just drawing me cards, but cutting them off from that landfall game plan. GG, Soul of Windgrace. Kroxa and Kunaros. Going to be self-milling, discarding, and generally getting things into the graveyard so they can be reanimated. This hand, it has some removal in it. It has some removal in it. And it has a land that can maybe surveil to another land. Something that is good about this deck against that deck is that we do have ways to exile things, making it so they either can't come back from the graveyard because we've exiled them from the graveyard, or maybe preventing them from having a graveyard at all. The other version of this deck actually is running much more graveyard hate, whereas this one I've sacrificed some graveyard hate so I can do more, graveyard fun. I'll play this Shadowy Backstreet. Taking a look, that's an Ephemerate. Ephemerate is great, but I'm going to put it into the graveyard here. And pass the turn. This Chrome Mox I'm probably going to end up using, but I'm not going to use it until next turn. Because I want to make sure I actually have something for it. Chrome Mox coming into play, and I am going to exile, let's see, how about Swords to Plowshares from hand? Yeah, it's a great removal, but I have lots of other great removal. Ketramose. This leaves me able to use Solitude, though I'd rather use it on my turn so I get to draw. Ooh, Tunnel Grinder. How many cards will they discard? The more they use this, the closer they get to flipping it over. It takes a couple turns for them to do it, but they just filled up the graveyard straight up. They got Faithless Salvaging, Terminal Agony. No creatures, though. And they did drop a Buried Alive, which is a great way to put things in the graveyard. Hovership can only hit creatures. This can only hit creatures. So I am going to start by fragmenting reality, hitting this Brass's Tunnel Grinder, turning it into, ooh, Priest of Fellrights. That's a fun one. And now that there's a Priest of Fellrights in play, I'll use the Unidentified Hovership to put it into exile, drawing more cards with my good friend Ketramose. The Crab. And I can't attack or block because I don't have 7 things in exile. Faithless Looting, more cards into exile, or into the graveyard here. Looking for those nasty creatures. The Crab. I can sacrifice the Hovership. It will put more things into their graveyard. I just need a little bit more black mana. They exiled Ketramose. Fun fact, if they exile Ketramose on my turn, I do get to draw a card. That'll be more black mana. Do I want to do that, or... You know what? Born to Norn. Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, is going to be stopping the Enter the Battlefield side of Kroxa and Kunaros. I also believe stopping the Enter the Battlefield of Porcine Portent, because it otherwise would make one of the 3 little pigs. Usually you go for the first little pig, since the first little pig is... It's removal. Hostile Negotiations. Oh, I have this in a deck because it makes piles. I have a deck that's running every single card ever printed in Magic the Gathering that makes piles. All right, Deluge, Reanimate, or 2 mystery cards. You get 2 mystery cards. kind of want to just, like, hold the Solitude, but I also want to get Ketramose out. So I'll get Ketramose out. I can still use the Solitude by exiling Charming Prince from my hand. Where does my Piles deck fit in a new bracket system? It is technically not running many tutors or extra turns, so it's, I think it's a 2, but it's definitely a 3, because it's kind of rude. Anyways, we won! Yeah, it's my, my Celestial Toymaker deck. It's fun. It makes people make bad choices. Joda the Unifier. 5-color Cascade, or I should say Pseudo Cascade. It's technically not Cascade. It's totally Cascade. New Guardian, thank you for the 23-month resub. And let's get ready to get some stinky blinkies on here. I got dogs, bogs. Got it all. Hi, Joda. So this deck is just cheating things into play, playing tons of legendaries. It's also going to get super wide, and unfortunately, one of the few ways to answer it is to just have wide removal, which I'm not sure I'll be able to do in this game. Still gonna do what I can. Playing my Gala Shrine in here tapped. I don't need to pay 2 life. I have nothing to cast. And they get a clue. Tamiyo's a 1-mana legendary, so she will get pretty big with Joda. I can either ramp or ramp. Ramping lets me potentially double spell next turn, but the double spelling I would be doing wouldn't be changing that much. And I don't think using the Chupacabra on Tamiyo is going to be that immediately, like, what I need to do. Gosh, Tamiyo and, like, the new Ajani are pretty nasty for this, though. The flip walkers, because they're good on either side. If Tamiyo flips on my turn without commander out, yes, I do draw a card. Which is... well, I think it's funny. Without ways to really exile things, I'm gonna go for double ramp. Are you gonna mana drain? Reprieve? Okay. Sure. Are three-tier commander decks the new 7s? Yes. In fact, most decks are going to be a 3, but it's not really about how strong is the deck. It's more like, what category of deck is it? Is it intended to be competitive? Is it intended to be casually competitive? Is it intended to be a tournament-winning brew? Hard to say. This Skrelv is going to be able to protect things. I'm going to start by just killing this Tamiyo, though. Can't let her flip. Next turn, maybe ephemerating the Chupacabra to take out Skrelv. Ugh. Nadu. Nadu's gonna make it, so even me using a way to take out Skrelv is going to get them card advantage. Which is silly. And I don't like it. I'll play the Mind Stone. Solar Transformer. And while they only have 1 mana up, I'm gonna blink the dog. I'd love to have done this with Ketramose out, like using up all these lands, but I'd rather make sure I have this mana ready because I do have Norn and I want to double up some abilities. Also, if I say I'm afraid of Nadu, I think most people will understand. The value, the flying, and combining that with Joda being Joda makes for, yeah, I want to take this thing out. And now I also have the Ephemerate. Next turn, it'll rebound, and as long as I have a creature out, I'll have something to hit here. Exiling their graveyard is good for Ketramose, helps me get to 7 really fast, but I'm just going to play this as a land, so I can probably double, maybe even triple spell next turn. Alright, so they have a no way out, even more reason for me to get more lands. Yeah, so they use Skrelv to draw another card off Nadu. You can get up to 2 triggers a turn with the Alchemized Nadu. All right, so they're using Lightning Bolt on the dog. They're not playing Joda this turn. I don't even know if they could. Probably. They have a fetch land. Oh, hi, Lonus. So yeah, they got no more lies. I guess I'll draw from my doggy. Bark, bark. I got a land. Ooh, and a Marauder. I have enough mana to protect Norn from this. And this will also probably turn some stuff off in their deck. I don't know how much, but there's Enter the Battlefields among legendaries. I'll pay the 3. So just playing Joda here will give +3/+3 to both of these, since they'll have 3 legends out. Also, it's been so long since I've seen a Joda deck. Matchmaking is still really weird right now. We're both punching up and punching down, game depending. They did not get to investigate. Sorry, Lonus. Sorry, Lonus. But they've tapped out here. And I think I've got some pretty good stuff. Oh, there's going to be a lot of things dying here. A lot of things dying. If I go for Shelly, then I guess I'll go with Acquisitions Expert over Accursed Marauder, even though that'll guarantee killing everything. Alright, so Children, make them sacrifice twice. Thank you, Elish Norn. Ketramose is like, when am I going to be a part of things? When we get the Exiling cards out. We already used some of the Exiling cards, but I did not put you in play because I needed to kill stuff. Alright, so Joda's still in play. I can hit their hand twice, giving them fewer options, or I can just say, you know what? I'm willing to drop an extra creature here, are you? Yeah, I am. I'm going to drop the dog and then the Marauder. I guess I could also Acquisitions Expert here. Yeah, sure. That's worth life. Make them discard twice. Shout out to Elish Norn, Rude Lady, and her nemesis, Childred. They don't get along. It's just 2 girl bosses. Too much competition. Skyclave Apparition. Well, good. That means they can't exile Ketramose. And Leyline Binding. Oh, that would have done nothing. Actually, both of those would have done nothing because of Elish Norn. You think they should kiss? Yeah, I agree. So they don't have enough mana unless they play a land to replay Joda. Joda doesn't have anything that it would do immediately. You have to follow up with another spell. And by the way, this Childred can flip and exile itself for Ketramose. They do have 10 things in the graveyard, so I could play Ketramose and flip Shelly. You should play a creature so I have something to kill on the flip. I mean, I'll flip it anyway. Oh, thank you. Okay, so Dark Confidant, Confidant, whatever. So many cards in the graveyard. So many delicious cards. The synergies with Ketramose are so weird. So I'll swing in. It doesn't matter. Either way, I'm getting 4 damage in. Ketramose. Flippin' Shelly. It exiled itself, which is an exile. So I draw a card and lose a life. It normally would destroy a creature or planeswalker. It ain't doing that. Oh, and when it flips back over, it will once again draw me a card. It will also Rise of the Dark Realms, so, like, yay. Hi, Cutezil. I don't have things I want to cast on your turn. I like casting things at sorcery speed in this deck for Ketramose. Unless I, like, don't have life to lose, then I can do it on their turn. They discard 3 and mill 3. All right. There those go. I'm going to sacrifice this to draw. That's nothing. I've already... One moment. What's on top of my deck? If it's more lands, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. Okay, Solitude, I'll take it. Solitude, I'll take it. I'll just play that. And swing in with Norn. I could have also, I guess, put it in the graveyard. Since I guess I'd be reanimating it anyway. But they could get Destruction for Shoulder. There's like Loran is probably in their deck. It's a swamp. It is a swamp. Thanks, Urborg. So these two are getting thick, getting chunky. If they swing in with both, I'd want to block Hajar, because otherwise they can give this +1/+0. Oh, but I guess it would get -1/-1 as well, because they would have fewer legends. Doesn't matter which I block. They could just swing in, though, if they want to get, like, 6 damage in and draw a card. Anyway, give me everything. I need everything. Everything! Also to lose 1 life and draw a card. Yes! More! Oh, it might be too many triggers. That's fine. GG, Joda. Wily Duke, a teeny hero, just got a whole lot better with the new mounts and vehicles that we got. Because as long as it is a tapped creature, it's drawing you cards and gaining you life. One of the more fun things you can do with Wily Duke is go infinite with Paradox Engine. Yup. You can go infinite with Paradox Engine and a Wily Duke. I know, because I did it. And now it's even better because there's other things that you want to be tapping, like this guy, House Cartographer, who I'm not letting live because I don't want them to get lands. Here comes Wily Duke. And I am going to go for 2 spells here. I actually love to, like, save this for a turn so I could Resto Angel it. Yeah, you know what? I'm willing to try it. They could severely mess me up, but I believe. I believe in a thing called value. Can you play a second creature, please? I could tap him for mana and drawing cards and gaining life. By God, they tapped him. No, don't hit Ketramose. Dang it! My need for value. My downfall. Whatever, play another creature. No, that's a land. I guess I'll just use my non-exiling removal since I wouldn't be drawing from it anyway. Get lost, Wily Duke. And Emperor of Bones, start boning them. Emperor of Bones is a very cute card in this deck because it does have some, like, enter the battlefield synergy. It likes it when you're getting cards that do something when they enter, because you can reanimate something just once. Well, multiple times if you have ways to put more counters on it, but this deck doesn't do that much of that. Skyseer's Chariot? What do you name? They don't know about any activated abilities other than Emperor of Bones, so they might just name that. Yeah, I sent them to the Bone Zone. No, me Emperor! Oh, now it costs 4 mana to adapt it. That's pretty whack. playing Ketramose. Because I want value. You there! Give me value. Yeah, I did it. This is a cool new car. It's a 2-mana 3/3 flying vehicle that's also taxes activated abilities. I think the most fun thing to name on Skyseer's Chariot are Planeswalkers. Make them pay 2 mana to activate their Planeswalker. It's cool. So yeah, I can Solitude something here, but I want to do it on my turn so I get to draw. Are they exploring? Okay. Wily Duke's getting bigger. Yeah, I want to draw. I need number go up. Aw, Canyon Vaulter in the graveyard. And a concession. And a concession? You know what? They were right to concede. But I'm kind of sad they conceded. Gonti Knight Minister. As many people know, this was one of the first decks I brewed, because I love to do crime. If either player is casting stolen spells, you get treasures. And if somebody hits their opponent, which is to say me, in combat, they get to steal. So it's going to be lots of cheap, evasive creatures, like this one. Things with death touch, things that you don't want to block, so they can go through and steal the cards from the top of my deck by dealing damage. Now, those cards do go to Exile. Ketramose won't be drawing off them, but Ketramose will still be very, very happy to see cards in Exile. Maybe giving myself an indestructible blocker. That would be really nice. I'd like an indestructible blocker. So I could play Ketramose here. But instead, I'm going to just keep laying out blockers. In this case, Cackling Observer. I'm going to take a look at their hand and exile a card from their hand permanently. So I want to hit something that's like the scariest card. Okay, so Baleful Mastery, Thieves' Tools, and Grim Hireling. I have blockers, so I'm not afraid of this. This would prevent me from blocking, and this is just very solid removal. I'm going to hit the Baleful Mastery. If I hit, like, Thieves' Tools, then they would get a 1-drop when this leaves. Now they'll get, like, a 3/2 or 1, and that's fine. Is this my deck? I'm going to guess it's my deck because of the Thieves' Tools. Alright, so they killed the Cackling Observer. They did get some removal off the top. Yeah, I know, like, exile removal. Look, sometimes it lets Ketramose draw. It's not what I want right now. I could go for Ketramose. Instead, I'm going to go for Nightmare Shepherd. Shepherd! In multiplayer, this is a very cool card. In fact, I think Gonti kind of wins the award for a card that is both very nice in 1v1, but also a much different and more interesting card at a 4-player table. I'm looking forward to incorporating this into my crime decks, because it's kind of a chaos card, too. I'm definitely putting into my Jasper Flint. It's going to go into the other Gonti. It's much better, honestly, than the Sultai Gonti. I like it a lot more. Yeah. Ketramose. And a D-Spark on the Hireling. Okay, because I played Shepherd, Nightmare Shepherd, people in chat are hitting me with the Rex! Shepherd! Thank you, guys. And I'm glad we all still think fondly about Mass Effect. Hi, Gonti! I have blockers, 2 of them. You should attack. I mean, they actually had an unblockable attack there if they wanted it. Yeah, I need the crab. So crab exiles things. Crab good. Why does Gonti not have Death Touch anymore? I think they washed the goop off their hands. I got the remastered versions of Mass Effect, but I haven't actually... Oh, I get a treasure! Yay! But I haven't actually installed or played them yet. GG Gonti. I think you're cool. The first sliver, and likely the only sliver. I do have a little bit of removal, a way to cut off some enter the battlefields in here, but I don't have anything on turn 1 or turn 2, so I'm gonna mulligan. All right, and I got some stuff now. The first sliver, as you may have heard me say, is usually actually 5-color good stuff. They're not a sliver deck, even though they make it so slivers can cascade. But in the case of the first sliver, you almost always are just seeing, well, one sliver. It's this sliver. They can cascade into more ramp, more removal, and then eventually get to some very strong spells. But we're going to find out right now, are they a slivers deck? Looks like they're a combo deck. If they're running these bad boys, I have a feeling they're a combo deck. I'd love to hit that. I'm going to hit Overlord instead. They're able to plane cycle here, but I'm hitting their ramp. I'm saying you can't get to the first sliver. This could be the Monstrous Vortex deck. Yes. So right now, like, unless I saw the Monstrous Vortex, which they wouldn't have it in their hand because they want to cascade to it. That's fine. I have this Fragment Reality, which is going to be how I can stop their combo. I'm going to play Ketramose. These all come in tapped, swing in. And I have 1 mana up with Mox Amber for Fragment Reality. So when they play the first sliver, if they get the Monstrous Vortex, because these are a bunch of modal spells, I'll be able to get rid of the Monstrous Vortex before they can cast another spell. Gonna pop down Elish Norn. Vortex usually does have Kruger Companion. All right, let's see. Okay, yeah, it's the Monstrous Vortex. So every single card in their deck is a creature spell with a... well, that. All right, so I'm going to hit it. Hey, you have to play your deck the fair way. Kruger gives away the game plan. Yeah, that's why they're not doing it. I'm gonna swing in with the Cackling Observer. And I'm gonna get myself some card draw. This will put a card in their hand, and then I'll get to take it out. My mouse is getting all jittery. I don't know what's going on. I wonder if my computer's having a struggle. Oh, also, there's going to be some extra triggers here, thanks to our good friend, Elish Norn. All right, I'll hit the Defiler of Vigor. And then I'll hit, Bloodthirsty Conqueror. Mouse, are you okay? Darkstar Banisher can't exile anything that my opponent has right now, so I guess I can just pass the turn. Hair under the sensor? No, I have a feeling it's my computer being silly. Or Arena being silly. Will Banisher ever hit anything? I guess not. So it'd just be a flyer. I mean, more damage in the air while I wait for Ketramose to be able to attack. Do you think they alt F forward when I hit the Vortex? Yeah, probably. Alright, well, fast forward to the end. They could just still cast their big spells. Fight me like a man. With big critters. Oh, looks like I have priority back. Oh, boy! Land. Hive. Can I kill you? Come on, Susan! How am I enjoying Aether Drift? It's been fun. Oh, I'm being asked, does Chromox trigger Ketramose? No, but it can add a card into Exile for Ketramose. Something, something. So how about them Red Sox? They're not playing yet. The season hasn't started. There we go. Exiling a card from their graveyard. That gets me a card draw. This will never have a target. Go for it, kids. When is Chromox good? It's also pretty nice on turn 1 when you're just trying to get more mana. Sometimes it's worth it to have 2 cards to make 1 more mana. And also, like, ticking up Ketramose's count to have a really aggressive start. And back to waiting. Salt Ropers are a shame. If you're playing a one-trick pony combo deck, at least have the dignity to concede when your combo gets interrupted. Don't waste people's time. I won't waste yours. Garuda, Doom of Depths. This is probably going to be a big cloney blinky deck that's using Garuda to get 4, 2, 6, 8, 10 mana creatures out of the graveyard and into play for free. I guess also 0, but it doesn't matter. As long as it's an even cost, like many clone spells are, Garuda can help grab it. And I am going to start this game by, well, getting my dog out. Stonebinder's Familiar. Stonebinder's Familiar is a funny card because it's one of the few things that cares about the fact that I'm exiling stuff. Do I want to Lion Sash or Ghost Vacuum? And start growing a dog. I'm gonna go for the Lion Sash. I can vacuum up the stuff they're trying to reanimate. I have multiple pieces of Graveyard Hate because that draws for Ketramose. But it doesn't target. So I can't interrupt Garuda's ability. All right, so they're felling the cat. They're felling that fella. And now I have a choice between Ketramose or Ghost Vacuum, Cloud Shift. I'm going to go for Ketramose this turn because they don't have Counterspell mana up. And I have this Ghost Vacuum I can now follow up with and start playing next turn. It's a free exile rather than costing 1 mana, but it's not as, like, good overall. And I know this is not a blink card. It is a great card, though. I especially like being able to grow the Menace Lifelink Indestructible creature once Ketramose is able to attack, because that's great. You're gaining a ton of life. You're getting in a lot of evasive damage. And are you going to have a Ketramose, too? Island. Island? Okay. They're ramping, yeah. It's a land. It's an artifact land. Trying to decide if I want a Grave Expectation to draw more cards. Or if I want to steal. I think I'm going to just steal here. Because that will give me more information. So, like, this is a clone card, so that tells me it might just be Garuda, like, big clones. What are you considering? Soldred? Cyclonic? So lots of blinks and bounces. I'm going to take this Shelly, though. So it does not draw because it was not exiling from the battlefield. I could use Cloud Shift in order to do that. Nice. Virtue to double the Garuda triggers. I like it. I like it. I'm going to get rid of that. Hey, it's hard to ramp in Dimir. See what I draw. Oh, and the dog bros. Bark, bark. Yeah, I'm just taking the Shelly so they don't have a Shelly. I want to keep drawing. Also getting Ketramose closer. I could either hold up the Cloud Shift, use the Cloud Shift to draw, or play the Solar Transformer. I'm going to just play the Solar Transformer. Like, if they have single target exiling removal, cool. It's going to take out Ketramose. I don't need to protect. Relic of Legends. They're not playing Garuda yet. They really want to double the trigger. Wow. Shelly. Drawing cards because Ketramose likes that. Oh, and I've had some people ask, why isn't Sheoldred in this deck? The answer is, I don't know. It just didn't feel necessary. Like, yes, it offsets the life loss, but I don't know. I didn't feel like I needed it. That Paul guy, thank you for the 1 year resub, saying, or Zov life. Yeah. I love losing life to Ketramose. So they get double the stuff here. And they can either hit my Sarah Paragon or Dowerport Mage. All right, nice. This is now under their control. Grief. Felia. Felia can blink Garuda. Or Urtai. Displacer Kitten. That's a scary one. And they can replay lands with the Sarah Paragon as well. Okay, Urtai, are you going to kill Sheoldred? That's completely fair. Oh, they get to kill 2. Do I feel like blinking the dog? Nah, I feel like I've gotten what I wanted from the dog. Yay, I draw a card. I guess I could have blinked the Sheoldred. I actually didn't realize this is under your control. It's not under its owner's control. I don't think I need that mana. Yoink. Hello, I'm here to bop. I'm gonna bop the Urtai. You want to tap it for mana? They're gonna return it to their hand? Not so fast! Bloop, bloop! I'll hit the Garuda. Oh, and we're getting a raid from Jim! Hi, Jim! Welcome to Ketramose Exile.deck. A card has been exiled and then returned. It's a dog, all right? Ravenous Chupacabra to me is a dog. It will always be a dog. I've got enough for this Signet in the middle. I'm gonna Ossification my stolen Sarah Paragon. I have ways to remove this to then get it back under my control. And I want to do this on my turn because of Ketramose. I don't actually think they've hit me at all. I've just been losing life to Ketramose draws. It's fun. And now I finally have a creature under Ghost Vacuum. Hit him with the Hoover. Hoover, damn, nice Villas. Ravenous Chupacabra's there. They didn't hit anything there. Oh, Witch Enchanter. Which one? This one. They're hitting a Ghost Vacuum. Ketramose is a kitty. Ooh, Nightmare Shepherd's great for them. Or do you go for Hourglass Coven because you get the double ETB? Oh, they're going for the witches. So you're gonna get, let's say, an assortment of witches here. Hag of Ceaseless Torment. Hag of Dark Duress. I mean, I can discard cards. Lands, they're in there. Yeah, they're in there. I got a lot of them. Scry 2, another discard. Another one of those. Okay, okay. Recruiter of the Guard. Oh my god, I have so many choices. Do I want to be exiling? Can you stolen? The Witch Enchanter's stolen. Okay, let's get silly with it. Can I exile the Witch Enchanter? Come on, let me have it. Okay. I was gonna take that back so I could destroy the Panharmonicon instead of just getting Lorraine and doing it. But fine, I guess. Fine, I guess. Alright, so let's discard some cards. They scry. Oh my god, it's a Warlock! I'll discard a card. Trust me, I have enough cards. Oh, what do I want to... I think I'll discard a card. I did end up with more lands than I wanted, and Ketramose still not able to attack and block. We would have gotten there, I think. Yeah, I should probably block. And then I go to 1. Well, that's not 0 until I exile something. If I exile something, I do lose a life and then lose the game if I do it on my turn. Worth it. GG. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Yup, it's that nasty lad. And we've got some mana. We've got some Graveyard Hate that we'd probably be playing on turn 1. A sweet little doggy who draws cards. Ghost Vacuum that might not be doing very much. The D-Spark makes this very tempting. I'm going to keep. Yeah, you probably already know what this Teferi does. This Teferi draws cards, untaps, allows you to constantly have counter spells at the ready, wipes the board, tucks your cards, and eventually exiles all of your permanents. He's a nasty lad. A very nasty lad. Is it going to be that kind of Teferi deck? There is only one kind of Teferi deck, and it is hopelessly, unrelentingly obnoxious. It's kind of like the Narset deck I built. But better. Now look at me and my little free mana rocks. Aren't those cute? Do I want to use it? I can trigger Ketramose this turn, but I don't think Ketramose will resolve. I don't really want to play it into the removal here. Meticulous Archive. They're surveilling. Ghost Vacuum will still be very helpful in hitting spells that they could otherwise recur off, like Snapcaster Mages. That's what I gotta be a little bit more worried about. So I have Salvation Swan here. Which does allow me to protect and blink this dog. So I don't feel pressured for Ketramose yet. I have something I can do this next turn. I'd rather be blinking the crab. But playing on their turn, even though it's like worse for Ketramose, it's better for, like, trying to get them to use up counter spells here. All right, so Salvation Swung and a Blink the Dog. And I have to do this before their end step, because otherwise I don't get the dog back until my turn. Yeah, this is a delayed Blink. Can I activate this? There we go. I do want to keep using this each turn to increase the number of cards that are just in exile for Ketramose. The Ketramose with the Ketramose. Start with a swing, going in for 4. And now I'm willing to just... Oh, well, I was going to play Ketramose, but sure. I was going to say, I'm willing to do this, since I can also hold up the D-Spark. But you know what? Fine. Yeah, I guess I'm just doing dog times. If I don't need to play into spells, I won't play into spells. Eventually they'll, like, bounce stuff, I guess. I don't know. Go! Salvation Swan and Spirited Companion. All right, this time, I'm not going to accidentally click through my second main phase. Go! Ketramose! Okay, I can't cast any more spells this turn. But you know what I can do? I don't know, exile Render Silent from your graveyard. I could even put that in my graveyard. It wouldn't do anything, but I can exile stuff. Is Ketramose bad and limited? Yes, because there are very, very few ways to do graveyard exiling stuff. What do you think they're tutoring for? Deluge? Okay. These two? They're going the whole way. Sure. Oh my god, it resolved! Oh, yay! Hold up. I'm gonna get to draw off of my commander. Deluge with Graveyard Hate on board? Don't question it. It's fine. I don't really feel like using the Mox. Hate to see tower? Sure. Okay. Oh, I mean, yeah. Ketramose will definitely be able to attack if I can ever land him. He costs 7 now. How convenient. 7 mana. It's Ketramose. Chromox exiles from hand, so it doesn't trigger Ketramose. Good thing I didn't play. I'm just chilling on it. Yeah, okay. Esper Sentinel, sure. You gonna, like, play Teferi and tuck my commander? I'll have you know, Teferi, I have been waiting to hit you with Sheoldred. But now that this is in the way, you're making things more difficult. You know, you cost so much mana. I'm putting this in the library. So let's start with Loran. Loran destroys Esper Sentinel because it is an artifact. Toss down a Sheoldred to try to finish the job. Taken out to Teferi. And Sheoldred's being told to get lost. Without many creatures, I can reanimate one from me. There's the Esper Sentinel here. I'm considering, like, playing the Chrome Mox so I can use a map this turn. This is fine. Here comes Teferi again. They've only hit 1 board wipe so far, but I also haven't committed much to the battlefield. I was really just swinging in with 2 creatures over and over. They draw a card. They untap a bunch. They are able to use the Gate to Sea Tower. So normally I would want to name God on Cavern of Souls. But I'm going to name Demon. Wait. Yeah, Demon. I have one other Demon in the deck. I was like, oh, do I want to name Crab? I mean, yes. Yes, I do. All right, let's see what we got here. Narset, get lost and 3 steps ahead. I don't have blue mana. I could technically not... No, I think I could spree it, but I think I'm just going to get lost the Teferi. Illusion it! Yeah, if I play the Narset and then I got it to ult, that would be very funny. I agree wholeheartedly. That would be very, very funny. Gonna play Emperor of Bones, and I'm gonna save these maps to try to trigger it later. Gonna hit that Memory Deluge first, just so they can't recast it. Losing my mind over here. Because Emperor of Bones, I can technically, like, adapt it to get out a card, and then I can use the maps to get out more cards with it. Ooh, they just did a big discount. Discover the formula. Vanquish the Horde. Okay, we can both draw. Come here, Ketramose. They already have plenty of cards. All right, so wiped board. Is that Restless Anchorage? It is Restless Anchorage. I don't have good things to tutor for off Recruiter here. I could hit Grief. I think I'm just going to go Ketramose. And Eternal Wanderer. And this is going to seem a little weird. But I'm going to plus on Ketramose. Ketramose is now in, I'm going to say, a happy space. A sweet little protected spot for a second, and then comes back. I was just drawing a card. That's what I was doing. I was drawing a card. They got card advantage. I want card advantage too. I am sleep deprived and slightly manic. And what do you want to do, Teferi, plus or minus? They're tucking the Ketramose again. Fine, command zone. Wait. How much mana do I have? Do you have a counterspell? Okay, bye Teferi. Unless... Negate, because it only cost 1 mana from the discount. Rude. Alright, I'll start making Slamurai. Manic Monday. It's Manic Saturday.
You know what?
Smothering Tithe. Going to ask if I pay the 2. They have so much mana that I'm probably just never paying this unless I have spare mana. Oh, good. Critter land. Will I pay the 2 on this turn? I actually will. Followed by attacking Teferi. I know that they're only at 7. I want to see if they're willing to trade the Anchorage. A demolition field, right? Yeah, so that can destroy Restless. I'm going to try to play the Recruiter of the Guard. That's going to allow me to tutor. And it actually can hit not everything in the deck, but a lot of things in the deck. It allows me to hit things that make them, that can destroy. It allows me to hit their hand. I have choices here. So I'm going to start with Vona. Okay. I'm going to bop this to Teferi. And I'm going to drop this Chrome Mox. So I am the Teferi player. Then going to put a blink on Vona. Play this Restless Fortress. Is that what it's called? Yep, that. And explore. Nice. I got this land. Would I rather have a Smothering Tithe against a deck that draws lots of cards, or Swamp? That should answer it. So I've stolen their 2 permanents. Their 2 non-land permanents. Oh boy, you're drawing cards. I can draw cards too. Me, the Teferi player. Sunfall, they are getting rid of these 2. Can't stop crime and can't stop, won't stop. Now, I wish I were doing things with Ketramose, you know, my commander. But that's just not in the cards today. You gonna counter Teferi? My fairly gotten Teferi. Okay, vetoed. I had the choice between playing the Smothering Tithe or attacking with the Fortress. Because it does cost 4 to animate. Wow, they packed it. I'll use this other map. I really wish I got to use them on the bones. Ooh, Werefox Bodyguard. I can use that for blinking my own stuff. Not really what I want right now, though. They're not a creature-based deck. Be careful about those taps. Yeah, and I'm paying attention to this demolition field because, again, I would like to hit them with this Restless Fortress. They can animate the 2/2 to block the Fortress. It's probably worth me saying, blinking tokens with Ketramose does not actually trigger Ketramose. It has to be a card. Cards being put into exile is what triggers Ketramose. So we have 2 nice little double striking threats. We've already faced down 2 exiling board wipes, Farewell and Sunfall. They're thinking. I've done that once. It was alright. Alright, they're destroying the fortress. It's going to, yeah, become a plains. And they need to do something about these 2. Hi, Teferi. That leaves them with either 2 or 4 mana up. They are going for a draw. Cracking that Scalding Tarn. I will swing in at their face since this is lethal if it connects. And my wreckage is going to get settled. No, they're pathing one of these. Again, that would not trigger Ketramose because it's a token. Get the damage. Get the damage. I'm going to play Ketramose. Actually, I think I should have played the Vista first. Because there are some taxing for 3 counter spells. Okay, nope, that's just a Long River's Pull. Sure. Back to the command zone. Make another Samurai. And here comes the Vista. This Ephemerate, I was probably going to use it as a defensive, like, if they target Ketramose with Exiling removal. Because they've used the 2 Exiling Boardways. There are still good, like, just blue Exiling and tucking things that I could dodge. And white cards that can also do it. Okay, there go those 2 creatures. So wouldn't it be nice to have an indestructible creature in play? Yes, it would. But I'm the one who named Demon. I wanted my crab to resolve. It was cool. Yeah, they used Path, and I think they might have used Swords to Plowshares. I'll be honest, I don't remember. Ketramose. All the creatures in their hand get discounted.
Show them the edge of your blade.
What's the other demon? I think it's the 3-1 that exiles from their hand. They played their 1 creature. Yeah, where's Tasha when you need her? To exile your opponent's entire deck. I think they probably have 1 other creature. 15 mana commander. No problem. It's regular. It's a regular amount of mana. Crack my Prismatic Vista. It would blink my Cavern. I don't think so. Samurai going for face. Samurai wins the game. They ran out of removal. Did I have fun? No, not really. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. Ketramose is very good, very strong, and still able to handle itself, even with the matchmaking, putting out against pretty much anything. Ketramose having a good, flexible amount of value, being able to play just good removal spells, spells that are creatures that also are removal, means that you're able to get a ton of stuff working with Ketramose, and you don't have to rely on the commander. It's just more value and more fun. I found that this deck is more interesting than the other version of Ketramose I built, but if people are interested in me showing and building another Brawl Stars video for the other Ketramose deck, please let me know. That's the one that is just Exile themed. This one, it's like not running the Kayas, it's almost all creatures, it's very blinky. The other one, board wipes, exiling spells, planeswalkers that also exile, and a ton of graveyard hate. This version has less graveyard hate, which means I can get more value out of Ketramose, exiling 1 card at a time from the graveyard using things like Ghost Vacuum. I really liked playing this deck. It was actually a very similar brew to my Vona deck, because this was also an Orzhov Blink deck, and, you know, having blinkable exile, having blinkable removal, blinkable destruction is really good. So this deck worked out just fine. If you're looking for the deck list, it's in the description below. And if you'd like to suggest a commander, especially one from Aether Drift, please leave a comment. Let me know what you would like to see. A lot of people out here saying, we want to see Aether Spark. Keep leaving those comments. If enough people beg for it, maybe I'll brew it. Maybe not. I don't know. It's colorless and it's an equipment that's also a planeswalker. It's really weird. But we like weird here. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.